everybody, welcome back to Annijuuti Knits. This is episode 18. My name is Anniina and I'm a knitter based in Finland, and this is my little corner on the internet. So welcome to join me on my journey of knitting. Happy New Year, happy 2022. If you are here for the first time, welcome. And if you have been here before, welcome back. I really appreciate you coming back to spend some time with me. And yeah, I hope you are comfortable. And I hope you have some knitting or something else to do, maybe laundry. Let's get started. It's been a little hectic for the past couple of weeks. I did record, I think 2 weeks ago, a little bit more than that, and I've had a little operation since that. I will talk about that in the live section at the end of this podcast. But let's get started with the knitting chat. I have 3 finished objects today, and the last few days of last year and the beginning of this year has been different, or I don't know if it's different to me or if it's not. I have been casting on like a mad woman. I was a little bit restless because of my upcoming surgery, and I just felt like I need to cast on everything. And the things that I talked about in my last episode, I already told you that I don't know what to do. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do everything. So what I ended up doing was casting on all the little things, and I actually did finish something. But these you saw last time. These are the Winter's Crest socks by Heather and Hobbs, and they are done. They have this little motif on the top of the leg, so they are started from toe up and then worked in stockinette all the way up to the ankle, when there is this little knit and purl and bubble motif to brighten up the leg portion. These are originally made in 2 different colors, so the toe and the heel and the cuff would be different color, but because my yarn was so fun and colorful and cheerful, I ended up using just one color. I didn't want to mix it with anything else because I wanted to give the yarn opportunity to shine on its own. I'm not very experienced when it comes to toe-up knitting, and it's really hard for me to make a, like, I don't know how to make the sock to fit when it's made toe up. I don't know how to measure it. And what happened to me, I ended up starting the gusset increases too late, and I didn't have enough time to make all of them because I did modify the pattern a little bit. I don't like a short row heel, so I modified the heel, and they ended up being a bit too big, but that's okay because I already have someone in mind that will get this pair of socks. So that was my first finished object. That was actually my last finished object for last year. And if you saw my roundup video, which was the last video, I said that I finished 60 things, but actually I did finish 64 things. And that was quite an achievement. I made 24 pairs of socks, 17 sweaters, 7 hats, 6 shawls and cowls, and 4 pairs of mittens, and the rest, or 6 pairs of mittens and 4 items of something else. So yeah, I think that was a busy year for me, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to knit some more this year. The second thing was I fixed my winter jacket. The zipper broke last spring. I think it was March or April. And yes, you still need a winter jacket here in Finland in March and April. But the zipper broke. I did order a new zipper, and I fixed it just the beginning of this year. So it took me a nice 8 months to fix the winter jacket, and because it's like a sporty jacket, it's not very comfortable wearing like a big shawl with it. So I needed a cowl. I did make a cowl last year for myself, but I made it a little bit too short, and it fits better for our daughter, or my stepdaughter, and she is wearing that cowl now, so I don't have that. So I made myself just an improvised cowl. It has this split on the hem, so that it sits nicely on the shoulders. I did some increases so that it will cover the whole neck. I used 2 strands held together. One was baby merino from Adlibris, and the second one was the brushed alpaca silk from Drops. And yeah, it doesn't look like much, but it does its job, warming me under my coat. So yeah, that was the second finished object. And I got a little bit inspired after making my stash video, after seeing that I have so much of things, little scraps, and I kind of want to use them up. So I talked with my sister. She told me that, or actually I asked if her daughter has, so my niece, if she has like a headband for the ballet classes, because she has to wear her hair on a bun, so you can't really put a hat on it. And she didn't have a winter headband. I have sewn her these stretchy hairbands just using like jersey, and I decided to make her a thicker one, knitted one. I'm not sure if the color shows up correctly. It's burgundy. It has 2 strands held together. Cover my face. I don't know if it's focusing because I'm mirroring the video to my iPad, and because of the internet connection, I don't know, it doesn't show properly. So I'm not sure if it did focus or not. But anyway, I used again Adlibris baby merino. It's a fingering weight baby merino, very pilly, so I didn't want to use just that. And then I used it with it's a wool, tencel, and polyamide sock yarn, very soft because of the tencel. I had like a 40-gram scrap. It's worsted weight sock yarn, so I held it double, made it with 4.5 millimeter needles, and I actually did. I just ended up using everything that I had from the sock yarn. I had in my head the length, and I was 1 centimeter off, but it works out fine. She hasn't tested it yet, but I did put it on my son and it looks fine. So I think it will be good. I'll put a picture of my son wearing this beautiful headband. Yeah, I dropped the pillow, sorry. Okay, so those were all my finished objects, and then I will show you some things that I already showed you in the last episode. If you have seen my latest episode, which was episode 17, I showed you the shawl that I started to make for my grandmother, and I said that I am hoping to finish it before my surgery so that I would be able to gift it for her birthday, which is in 2 weeks. But I didn't manage to finish it. I did promise to myself that I'm working on it a little bit each day, and I did. But because I was feeling so restless, I didn't want to force myself knitting something that doesn't really bring me joy. So I did enjoy working with it a little bit each day, and I managed to grow the shawl a little bit. So let me show you. So this is where I was here. So I did manage to grow it quite a lot. I finished up the garter section, and I made this eyelet section, another garter, and then this slip stitch motif. And this is made out of this unknown wool, which is most likely 100% wool. I bought it from this yarn factory store in a cone, no label, but most likely a worsted weight wool. And I paired it up with the sock yarn, Novita 7 Brothers 7 Veljestä yarn. I showed you those yarns last time. I ended up using all of the stripy one. So it actually ended in the middle of row, but I don't mind because I just continued. Let me see, which end was it? It's here. So it ended on the last row somewhere over here. Sorry for the awkward pose. So I don't mind. I just carried on with the burgundy that was coming next, and you can't really tell. It's like 30 centimeters from the end. So one knit stitch row is continued in the middle, but who cares? So I have this slip stitch row, or this diagonal. It's like a 2-stitch cable when you shift those stitches to go in a line. That was so well explained. Anyway, you probably know what I mean. Yeah, so what I have left is like the border. It's like 15 centimeters, and if my hand is getting better, I will try and finish it next week if I can. And if I can't, then sorry for that. Then it's not going to be done. So the pattern is Silta by Tif Neilan, and it's in the book 52 Weeks of Shawls. And yeah, the original pattern is made with just one solid color and then a contrasting border. But what I did, because I wanted to use up some scraps, I ended up alternating colors in each section. So I think I just have like a little nugget left of the burgundy one. this much. The next section is garter, I think 8 rows or 8 repeats back and forth. So I was planning on making it like this, alternating with the gray. So I would use the burgundy and then finish it off with the gray. It does have a picot bind off, but this is kind of this wool is very it's not very soft. It's kind of pointy. It's kind of stiff. So I'm not sure if I should just like do a regular bind off or like an I-cord bind off. I think I won't be doing those picot bumps because I don't think it's going to lay flat very nicely. So I will have to think about that when I get there. So yes, that was the one that I was working on. And then I said that I wanted to make the whole Maja cardigan for my Steekalong. That didn't happen. I did start, and actually when you now look at these two projects together, they're very similar colors. First of all, Maja cardigan is worked from bottom up, and I don't like that method. I have done one sweater bottom up, and I find it very hard to measure the length of the body and the sleeves, and I don't like. You can't really try it on while you're doing it. So what I ended up doing was I did just turn the chart upside down. I think Rebecca from Crea Bear podcast did her Maja cardigans. I think she has done like a sweater and a cardigan. I think she made them from top down, if I'm not mistaken. That's actually a very good podcast to watch. So if you don't watch Crea Bear yet, go and check her out because she's amazing. Anyways, I alternate. I did start from top down. I think the pattern doesn't have any short rows, or does it? I'm not sure, but I did some. So I did the ribbing, and then I did some short rows with the black. Now I'm losing stitches, and then I just started. I lost the stitch marker. Yeah, so then I sorry, I need to fix this before I lose everything. Yeah, so then I started working the chart, and the pattern calls for 2 stick stitches. I did 5 because I find that more secure to cut into, so that's what I did. Yeah, it's a little start, not much, but I'm hoping to be able to get on with it soon. And if you like to join my Cowl, the Steekalong 2022, you can post whip pictures or yarn pictures or whatever planning pictures under the hashtag Steekalong 2022. And when you have finished, then you can post under the hashtag Steekalong 2022 FO. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place. My family went out. My husband took the boys out, and it was such a frantic outing. Or they were leaving, and there was all kinds of stuff, and it really messed up my train of thought. So anyways, they are out. I don't know when they're coming back. I don't know if they cut me off. Who knows? Anyways, so I didn't manage to finish that in 11 days, but such is life. Yeah. Then I think I have shown in some of my videos at least the yarn. Maybe it was my stash video. I told my husband wanted a hat, and I did start the hat. The problem is, yeah, so the first thing is, I think you know what's the problem. Aren't they just beautiful together? I don't think they are. That's why I can't seem to find the energy to make this hat. But I've done the ribbing. So he wanted a hat in red and blue. And he wanted the hat in proper red and electric blue. So this is what I bought. This is Sandnes Garn alpaca wool. And it's a DK weight, I think, and this is just classic Filcolana Arvetta. I don't know how to say it, but I'm gonna hold this double because this was the blue that he wanted. So yeah, so I've done the ribbing, not much else, and then I should start the star stitch pattern that I was planning on making in this one. So the base is going to be red and the star stitches are going to be blue. And that's what I was working on since we last spoke. And what else? I did start a pair of socks. Sorry, I'm not very organized today. I just grabbed the whole box that I had on the bookshelf, and yeah, so you're just going to have to deal with me today. I did start a pair of socks. Wait a second, I have to untangle. I'm usually making things 2 at a time, magic loop. That's my jam. The yarn is tangled, but who cares? Yeah, so here they are. I never seem to know how to show you properly. It has like this tiny little cable. Sorry, this is very awkward. A little cable running down the side. Both sides. I have done the heel flap and the heel turn. It's the Dutch turn and reinforced slip stitch heel. That's my go-to heel. That's what I know, and that's what I always do, or not always, but often. And the yarn is Regia Premium Merino Yak. I think I have a label here, maybe. I had the label here, but maybe I dropped it here. So this one. Yeah. And the color is something petroleum melange or something like that. I don't know. It's a very pretty color, and I am making these for a friend. And I tell you why. In my last episode, I showed you all my whips. I showed you my Stephen West Slipsteraganza shawl. And I was umming and ahhing, and thank you for all of your messages. And yeah, like I said last time, it was very hard to decide what to do with it because I really like the honeycomb that I had made, but the commitment of making that shawl would be crazy. And then my friend texted me and she was like, I have wanted to make that shawl, but I don't really need a new shawl. Let me make that for you. And I was like, who does that? Like, so amazing, so kind. And I was like, first of all, I was like, are you freaking serious? Like, I don't believe you. Why would you do that for me? And she was like, yeah, but like, then I can enjoy the process and you get to wear the fabulous shawl. And I was like, oh my word. And what she asked was if I could make 2 pairs of children's socks, size 30. And I was like, of course, like, yes, I'll make socks for the whole family. And she was like, no one has made her socks. And yeah, I'm very happy to make her socks. So anyway, here's the progress picture of her, or actually maybe here, the shawl that she's making. So she has done the next section already, and it looks just absolutely beautiful. And I'm really, really excited to wear it. And yeah, I started these socks immediately when she suggested me that we should do a swap. But because of all the things happening, I managed to get here, and now I just have the foot part to go. And as soon as I'm able to knit again, I will do that for her. Yes, that's that. And then I have casted on 2 other things because I just wanted to cast on everything that I could, and yeah, so I did. First of all, I knitted a hat for myself because I've knitted hats for everyone else but for me. I did make one of those Rusko beanies for myself, but I ended up making it too big and my husband is wearing it. So I'm using similar color. This is Peruvian Highland wool by Filcolana. And yeah, nothing much to say. I haven't decided, or I have an idea of making like a ribbed hat for myself. And yeah, just a basic hat. I knew that I won't be able to cast on things because of my surgery. And the night before I did cast on this, just so it's on the needles, and I think I will be able to knit. I have done quite a few stitches already, so I know that I'll be able to knit, but like to stretch your fingers to do the cast on, that's not happening. So that's why the hat cast on. And the last thing, this was also a few days before, few days, maybe 3 days or something like that. It was the weekend, last weekend actually. Today is Saturday. I have no idea what's the date, 15th maybe. Yeah, so I have seen a lot of beautiful Vertices Unite shawls, and I have never felt attracted to that pattern whatsoever. But suddenly, like, I saw it on and on and on and on and on Instagram, and then I was actually watching the Knitting Hobbit podcast, also a good podcast to watch. The podcaster is called Ruth, and she's from the Netherlands, and she's very joyful, fun young woman who knits a lot. So I was watching her podcast, and she showed, not to me, but to everyone, her finished projects 2021, or the bigger finished objects, and she had Vertices Unite, and I think that was the last kick. 2 of my very good friends are currently making the same shawl, and we've been talking about it, and then I was like, I need a Vertices Unite, and I certainly have yarn. So I was thinking, what color do I need? I don't have a green shawl, even though green is definitely one of my most worn colors. So I started a green Vertices Unite. I'm striping 2 colors. So my main color for this was Freya Yarn's merino sock in the colorway Olive. So it's this variegated green. So this I have a whole skein of. And then I decided to use scraps. So I have I've made a hat for my son from this one. This is Earth Harvest fingering in the colorway Fig. It's a very beautiful green. So I had like a 50 grams of this. I'm using my ancient arts yarn Sognado base from Canada, and I made socks from this last summer, and I think this was a perfect addition to this shawl. And then I had that advent calendar, so I picked out a couple of minis from my advent to go with that. So I have these three. They are all 20-gram minis, and then I grabbed the leftover from my shawlography, the dark brown, because this has like lots of different colors, and also this one, well, never mind. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get the shawl out of these colors. If not, I'm sure I will have some more merinos lying around, but that would create like a very green Vertices Unite, and that's what I was looking for. So that's what I have been starting, and actually so my hand was so the surgery was on Tuesday. Today is Saturday. Yesterday I got the pressure bandage thingy off, so I could really start moving my fingers. And so I did a couple of stitches for this shawl. I think I did like 3 rows, and that was like a huge victory for me. So I'm really happy that I'll be able to start knitting soon. And that's, my dear friends, that's everything that I have been doing since the last 2 weeks. And I wanted to talk about a little bit about my plans for this year. I didn't do like this make 9 grid, but last year I made this knit bingo. It's a very common thing, at least in the Finnish knitting circles over on Instagram. So last year I did my knitting bingo, and I'm not chasing the bingos. I'm chasing like a full entire grid of I want to check all the boxes. Last year that didn't happen. I did manage to get, I think, 20 out of 25 or 18 out of 25. I'm not completely sure. But I thought that I would read through my this year's knitting bingo or knit bingo. I like a challenge, and I have chosen things that I know that will challenge me. They are things that I already have the yarn for, or if I already have the pattern for. And I'm not that type of a person that stresses things out or loses motivation if I have targets. I'm the exact opposite. That just pushes me, and I'm not too worried about if I'm not gonna finish all of the things that I'm explaining here. So if I have, I will put a picture of each project, and now I will just read through my bingo. On my Instagram, it's unfortunate in Finnish because that's kind of the Finnish thing. Then the knit bingo. So if you want to follow along, you can see the pictures when I finish things. So the first square is the Seleste pullover by Sari Nordlund, and yeah, it's this one. It's a very beautiful pullover. I have the pattern and I do have the yarn already, so that's that. Then I want to make gloves. and gloves as in like knitted with all 5 fingers. I don't know if it's going to be colorwork or just plain, but I want to make these gloves with all the fingers. Then I have provisional cast-on. I have never done a provisional cast-on. I was already planning on doing it now that Lisa from And So On and Rebecca from the Grey Bear podcast are hosting these what is it, like knitting firsts cowl, but unfortunately my time management wasn't right, and the cowl ends on the 1st of February, so I don't think that I will be able to do that or finish the object. I'm actually planning on making the love note this time, how it's suggested in pattern, so provisional cast on and so forth. I do have the yarn, but unfortunately this time I couldn't done it in this timeline. Then I have the pair for my light as a feather socks. I showed you in my last episode my whips. I have this white feathery sock, colorwork sock, so I'm planning on finishing the pair for that. And then I have a square for knit from a book that you own. So I do have a lot of knitting books, so I'm planning on knitting a pattern from a book that I own. Next square is the Maja cardigan, already started. I want to make a new heel, so like a new heel construction. I have been eyeing out already few options. I'm really interested in the strong heel. If you know, it doesn't have like you don't have to knit the gusset, because you just increase in the ankle and then turn and then go from there. So that's what I'm thinking. My next square is the swag pullover, and I already do have the yarn for it already. And then I want to make pockets. I haven't specified for what garment. It can be a cardigan, it can be whatever. I want to make pockets, so that's that. Wild Poppy pullover by Tif Neilan. I do have the pattern for it already. I do have the yarn, so I just have to make the sweater. The next wear is gift knit. That shouldn't be too hard. I'm making gifts all the time. Colorwork cardigan, and this is not going to be now the Maja cardigan, because I'm checking one box from each work that I accomplish. So colorwork cardigan as in either a yoke just in colorwork, or I'm actually thinking like a full-on colorwork cardigan. That's what I've been planning on. I was just looking outside if I can see my kids, but it wasn't my family, it was someone else's family. Yeah, and then the next square, this is actually the middle square of all from all the 25 times 5 grid. So the middle one is finish up 5 whips from 2021. So I need to finish up at least 5 to get a tick to that box. The next box is tubular bind off for a sweater, and that's a technique that I really want to learn this year, or because I really know that that's such a beautiful way to finish up garments. So I really need to learn to do that and start using it. The next box is test knit. Test knit for someone else, obviously. And the next is lace. So again, I haven't specified which project. It just has to have lace in it. And then a cabled sweater. I was actually thinking of Silta sweater. I already bought the pattern. It's this very beautiful cabled sweater. It's the first sweater pattern of of Yksi silmuka kerralla, Erika. She's such a sweetheart, and I really fell in love with I wanted to test that for her, but the timeline wasn't, it didn't work for me, so I couldn't test it, but I'll be happy to make it later this year. I already do have the yarn for it as well. And then the next box, hat for myself, that has already been started, so it's coming up. And for Fox's sake sweater, I really like this sweater pattern. I'm gonna make it for my husband at some point, I'm hoping. I know it's very challenging yoke. The color work is quite, I wouldn't say difficult, but it takes some time. So yeah, that's something that I want to make. I have the pattern, I don't have the yarn. The next box is baby knit, something for someone's baby. We won't be having any more babies, thank you very much. And then technique, the ladder back jacquard, what is it called? The ladder back stitch thingy, when you can do color work so that it stretches. Very good for a very long floats. I need to learn that. The next box is Scrappy Project. And the next one is Pohjolan Emäntä. This was already in my last year's bingo. I couldn't finish, so I have done up until the armholes, so it shouldn't take too much time to finish, but it is a very thin single ply wool, so yeah, it is a little bit of work. And my least favorite part is now when you have to knit flat, and that's why it's slowing down a little bit. My last two squares, a published sock pattern, shouldn't be that hard, and the Sari cardigan. And those were the 25 things that I'm planning on making this year. And that doesn't even cover the half of it, but I was writing up this bingo in this sense that I would use up the yarns that I have at home, so that would motivate me to use what I have and not always find out new projects that I have to buy a pattern or the yarn or both. So I'm hoping that I will be able to concentrate more on things that I have been planning or already doing last year. So those were my plans. I know it was a lot. Hope you are still there, and if you are, now is the time when I talk a little bit about my live chat. So if you are not here for that, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you didn't already, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if you are staying with me, I don't have a lot to say. I'm just gonna quickly give a little update on my hand and on my life. So as I have already said before, that we have a little renovation going on. It started beginning of December or mid-December. We hired some people to do the reno. So they finished the toilet on the 23rd of December, so it was kind of stretching it, but it was finished before Christmas. I will actually put some before and after pictures at the end if you are interested, or it's actually a video. So yeah, before and after. And now the whole sauna and the bathroom, the shower has been ripped out, and that was last week. And now I've been home after my surgery, and there's this reno going on, and it's so annoying. I mean, I have been a little bit in pain a lot actually. The first 2 days were kind of awful, and to be hearing the banging and the saw and not the favorite time to be at home. Anyways, the reno should be finished next week, and it's going to be fabulous. And I will show you the results in my next episode. But I'm really excited. We are all very excited to see the results for the bathroom, or the shower, and it's going to be amazing. Yeah. So yeah, my hand is doing well. I just have like this little bandage. It's not too swollen anymore. Yesterday it was like a blown rubber glove, like a balloon, but it's doing really well. I can move my fingers. I can't press them together yet, quite just yet, but yeah, I have to be careful with it. I got 6 weeks off from work, and I'm just going to make it better. I'm going to do everything that I can to let it heal, and I'm very excited to have 2 working hands. So yeah, it's been 5 days and it's doing really well. So thank you so much for everyone who has wished me good luck and who has given me your warm thoughts about the surgery. I'm happy to report that it went well, and I'm just now going to take it easy for a couple of weeks, and I'm thinking I'll be able to knit maybe already next week. But this was everything that I had to say today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will add my bathroom, the toilet part, reno before and after at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching and for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye!